Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about few situations where I encountered when I was helping my friends buying their first used car, or some of them it's their second used car or third used car. Okay, I will be also dedicating another episode about new cars, but I want to talk about used cars tonight. Okay, so, few situations. First of all, hi, this is Sharif here again from DrvAWay. With DrvAWay, we can save you guys time and anxiety back and forth, uncover things that you did not know about, like mechanical issues if you're buying a used car, accident reports, lien on vehicles, and many, many other hidden things that you don't know about. Negotiate the car price for you as well. That's what we do. Also, with new car purchase, we help facilitate the deal. We can audit the deal, or we can do the deal for you, start to finish, from calling dealerships to speaking to the finance manager to letting you know where's your car that you want to buy. We can go up to 3 to 4 hours away from GTA, from Greater Toronto area, to find the car that you and your family are looking for. So today we'll be talking about used cars. I'll briefly mention one situation. I'll mention a couple of situations. The first situation it was recent. I actually posted it on TikTok and Instagram. So one of my customers called me. Sometime how I do business is I can do it over the phone through like a video calling session. So one of my customers, he went to see a car. It was from a private seller. I had a similar situation with a dealership, but this one was a private seller. So my customer went to see the car. It was a 2016 Toyota Corolla, and he said to me it's 85,000 kilometers. I said okay. So I saw the car on the camera, on the video, on the video call. And I told my friend, well, his customer and a friend at the same time. So I told him, could you please go to the front of the vehicle, put the hood up, I want to look at the engine bay. From what I can tell, like just visibly me seeing the vehicle, I was like, this is not an 85,000 kilometer. So when he opened the engine bay, it didn't look right. Now, he went to check inside the vehicle. I said to him, can you sit on the driver's seat? And after you sit on the driver's seat, go sit on the passenger seat beside the driver. I said, how do you feel the difference between the cushion on the driver's seat and on the passenger seat? He said, well, the cushion on the driver's seat is not as comfortable. I said, okay, can you please get up and use your hand, use a good force, and push on the cushion with your hand. He said, okay, so he did it. I said, go sit in the passenger seat. He sat in the passenger seat. And I'm like, do you feel something different? He's like, yes. I said, what do you feel? He's like, I feel the passenger seat is not as soft and fluffy. So I said, the passenger seat is firm, right? He said, yes. I said, can you ask the seller, did he use this car for Uber? The seller denied it. That's the first red flag. So what happened is, I said to the buyer, to my customer, my friend, I said, this car is not an $85,000 car, 85,000 kilometer. I said, pull the Carfax. He pulled the Carfax. So we found that the odometer was rolled back. So this is just one scenario. I told you guys what was the issue. I told you how to detect the issue. And you definitely want to walk away. A second situation it was a dealership, sold the vehicle. to a customer, and the dealership said the vehicle is safety inspected. Customer went home. He called us a week later. It was one of the other salespeople that was with us in the floor was explaining the story, was telling us the story. So apparently, I'm laughing because it's just unacceptable what dealerships sometimes can do, right? Because they claim they provide great service, blah, blah, blah. So the customer complained. They said he went to do an oil change and his mechanic looked underneath the vehicle and it was all rusted. Customer returned the vehicle. The customer threatened that they're going to take us to court. They're going to take the dealership to court. And, luckily, that customer did an oil change about 2 months after. And it was even a surprise because why would you do an oil change that early? But apparently the customer really wanted to change their oil like religiously. You know what I mean? Like usually you should wait, what? Depends on what kind of car you have, but 6,000 to 10,000 kilometers synthetic oil. So that's a situation where the customer threatened to sue the dealership and the dealership took a step back. Another situation, I went to help a customer buy a truck. It was a Ford F-150. It was a 2012. So those one had the Coyote engines, right? And they're good. They're good, reliable engines. I looked around the truck. It seems okay, body-wise. But when I look at the trunk, so I like to go underneath the vehicle. So I went underneath the vehicle to check. And I can tell the bed, the bed, okay? So underneath the bed, it was all painted. Because this is where F-150s, they're known for really bad rust issues. So the bed from the bottom was painted in black, like a thick black layer. And that's when somebody does that, they're hiding rust issues. Okay? Another situation, I helped a very close friend of mine buying his van. So we went to the seller. The seller said, nothing wrong, and we drove for an hour away. The seller said, there's nothing wrong. The car drives fine. So I test drove the vehicle. It seems okay, but I felt the transmission, there was a bit of a shudder, like it wasn't shifting as it's supposed to. I said to my friend, let's take this to a mechanic. We went to a mechanic, guys, and the mechanic said, stay away. Why? Because there was a lot of oil. The transmission was leaking oil. So what we did, we went back to the seller. We said, you lied to us. You played games with us. So that's another situation, guys. Okay. Another situation, that was at a dealership. We were selling an as-is car. Now the thing is with as-is car or unfit, okay, there is a legal definition for it, but the dealership literally tell you if the engine blew tomorrow, we cannot help you. An as-is car or an unfit, you want to make sure you take it to your mechanic. Like, don't even say like, I'm gonna take a chance. Never take a chance on an as-is vehicle unless you really know about cars. Then you can get a good deal. But 100%, any unfit as-is vehicle from a dealership, take it to a mechanic. Because you never know what's wrong with that vehicle. Because an unfit means the dealership doesn't see they're gonna make enough money on it after they put a safety on it. So it's gonna require them to spend a lot of money on it. So unfit vehicles, they can be good opportunities, but they also can be a lemon. So my recommendation, always take it to a mechanic, unless you're buying it for trading or for business. That's a different situation. Or to send it abroad, okay? Now, another situation was the used vehicle. It was a BMW 5 Series. It was a 525. And between 2011 to 2014, the 5 Series, 525, the 4-cylinder engine, it's a 4-cylinder turbo. I had one of my customers going to see it. It was a blue, I remember it was blue, it was beige interior, it was beautiful. It has 68,000 kilometers on it, guys. 68,000 kilometers. BMW 5 Series. It was blue. Like dark blue, charcoal blue. It was like beautiful. I loved that vehicle. I went to see it myself with my customer. And I said to my customer, this is not your typical car. We need to put this on a OBS diagnostic tool, or we need to go to a mechanic who's good with German vehicles, where they can put it on the computer, where we can see the diagnosis. So it was a well-known issue for this vehicle between 2011 to 2014 with the 525 engines, 4-cylinder turbo, spark plug issue, X-drive, all-wheel drive issues, it disconnects sometime, and engine misfire. And if you're not religiously changing the oil with it, actually the engine can go bad, the chain can go bad in the engine. It's a well-known issue with these models, especially those specific year and those specific engines. We took it to a mechanic. Now, the mechanic said stay away from the 5 Series 4-cylinder in general, but my concerns were, my customer really loved it. He said it's only 68,000 kilometers. Who cares? I said, yeah, but you still want to put it on a diagnostic tool, right? He was actually a medical student, and he just graduated, and he wanted to treat himself. Okay. Yeah, so we took it to the mechanic, and the mechanic said, you just stay away. If you want to buy a 5 Series, just go get the 6-cylinder, right? It's also 6-cylinder turbo. But yeah, the issue was with the 525 for those specific model years. So that was another situation. So I can go on and on and on when it comes to used vehicles, because I was helping people with buying from a private seller and dealerships, because I used to sell a lot of used vehicle, and I definitely sold a lot of new as well. So next video will be more about new vehicles. Please comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment below. I would love to hear from you. What would be your next vehicle that you would buy, used or new? Please comment, share your experiences if you have any. Shree from DrvAWay. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great evening. Thank you so much.